Welcome to another episode of Spotlight on Stage, where we shine a light on theatre across Manchester. I'm Michelle Eagleton. I'm the arts and culture correspondent for I Love Manchester, and I love theatre. If you do too, you're in the right place. This is the place to get your theatre fix. I've got news from the world of theatre, interviews with stars from the stage, and coming up, we'll have the usual What's On guide for what is on at theatres across Greater Manchester this week. But let's kick off with some news, because we have got some exciting news about a very special schoolgirl heading our way. Oh, that is so exciting. I love that show, Matilda the Musical, and it's going to be here in Manchester in 2026 at the Palace Theatre. Now, it's going to have a bit of a long run here. It's here from the 26th of March to the 25th of April 2026, and tickets go on sale this Thursday, the 24th of October at 10 o'clock. So get in there quick. Now, that is, of course, a family classic. Another family classic is the Elmer Stories, and they are taking to the stage this week at the Lowry in the Elmer Adventures. It's put on by Tall Stories Theatre Company, and I got the chance to catch up with its artistic director and co-founder, Toby Mitchell.
I think the stories, and there's about 30 of them, 30 books, are brilliant. They're silly, they're meaningful, they're crazy. They're a great mix, and everyone can find different things in them. So although there are 30 stories, we're just telling 3 of them in this particular adventure, along with the story of 3 adventurers in the jungle who are looking for a real-life patchwork elephant.
Absolutely, and it can hide very well being a patchwork elephant in the jungle. You say we're just doing 3. I mean, 3 is a challenge to cram into a production, isn't it?
3 is a good challenge. The show will be just under an hour long. So we'll have plenty of time to meet our adventurers, to get to know them a bit, and then for them to tell. They're sitting around a campfire, camping in the jungle, looking for Elmer, and they tell stories around the campfire, which we get to join in with as an audience.
And that's brilliant, that kind of interaction that you get. People love that. They've taken the stories to their heart, because Elmer's been going 35 years. I can't actually believe that.
Yeah, it's a long time. Certainly, well, my son's 18 now, and yeah, I read the Elmer stories with him when he was young. So it's a bit of a trip down memory lane for me as well.
Yeah, is that why it was important? Because you do tend to choose to do productions of these well-loved characters.
Yeah, we choose stories that speak to us. That's the most important thing. So we wouldn't just choose a well-known character because it's well-known. We choose them when there's a strong story behind, when there's meaning behind, and when there's something that we can really get our teeth into and bring across to an audience and have some fun with it as well. Because it's really important to have a story, but it's just important to have fun.
And there's so much fun because you have got that storytelling element. You've got some song in there as well. You've got these bright, colourful kind of outfits. And let's discuss the puppetry, because, of course, we have Elmer here, but there are other puppets, and we've got award-winning puppeteers that you've got on board. They're incredible names.
We get absolutely Yvonne Stone, who's our puppet designer and puppet director. Yeah, she's done a lot of amazing stuff in the past. So we have a couple of smaller puppets, which are more like, they're like cuddly toys that we bring to life. And then, yeah, we do have the the kind of nearly full-size Elmer puppet that they, no spoilers, but that they eventually do discover in the jungle.
Oh, and do you know what? I think for you, as like the artistic director, you must kind of get that instant glow, I imagine, or that feeling of heartwarming inside when you see the kids' reactions. But not only the kids' reactions, like I say, the parents and the grandparents at these productions.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's amazing about kids is that you can't predict their reactions either. So actually, we did previews last week in our own little rehearsal studio. So we're Tall Stories is a charity. We have this rehearsal studio, and we put on free previews for local schools and local families who couldn't otherwise afford to go to the theatre. So we had the schools in, and the moment when one of our characters falls asleep just before Elmer arrives, yeah, the moment Elmer arrived, they're all just kind of going, Elmer, wake up, wake up. Whereas when the families are in, it's more like, oh, look, it's Elmer. And it's all, and again, it doesn't matter. Both reactions are equally valid, and we'll work with both reactions. So you just have to play with what you've got from the audience.
Oh, that is joyous, really joyous. And I love the thing that you are doing in terms of, giving that accessibility to people who can't get to the theatre. And Told Stories has been going for, I'm going to say it out loud, about 27 years. I mean,
Yes,
that's a long time.
1997. I
And I
co-founded.
don't want to age you here, Toby. Not
That's
aging you.
right. There's age me there. Olivia Jacobs and I co-founded the company in 1997, and we both had other jobs at the time. We were just telling stories that we wanted to tell, took them up to the Edinburgh Fringe and then to some kind of small venues, and then it just gradually grew. Then we accidentally bought the rights to the Gruffalo before it was famous, which was a good thing to do. We discovered in the end, but even before it was famous, we found that kids already knew it off by heart. They were coming to the show, and if you leave a gap, they fill in the words for you. So we thought, oh, okay, this is something special. And then it started winning all the awards and becoming bestseller, and we're like, okay, this is good. So that's when the company also started to take off a bit more. So yeah.
I mean, that is some insight. It's almost like I feel like I need to ask you, what is the next hot topic? What's going to be big next, Toby?
Well, we've got lots of plans. We've got lots of plans. We can't reveal any yet. But yeah, there's lots of plans for post Elmer. But let's get Elmer open first.
Yeah, no,
It went well at
absolutely.
previews last week, but obviously we're now taking it up a stage to the Lowry, a bigger stage, and we also come back to the Queen Elizabeth Hall in London for the week after the Lowry. So two big stages. It's exciting to see what it becomes.
And we love having you at the Lowry. It
We
is
love
great.
coming.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we're going to have some fun. We're going to make some children very, very happy, and we're going to get some adults quite nostalgic. And hey, look, I feel like I'm bringing the colour on for Elmer and for
Good
yourself,
colours.
Toby.
Yeah, sorry about the grey background. That's the elephant background. I'm a bit more colourful in front.
Well, if you want to catch Elmer in action, then head to the Lowry. It's on from tomorrow, the 22nd of October, all the way to Saturday, the 26th of October. I think it is going to be a firm family favourite. And you can book tickets for that by heading to our website, ilovemanchester.com/theatre. Now, let's take a look what else is on at the theatres across Greater Manchester this week. Well, still causing a stir at the Opera House is Burlesque the Musical. Yes, it is based on the hit movie starring Christina Aguilera and Cher, set in the bright lights of New York, where Ali heads in search of her mother. And she finds herself in a dazzling underground world where the beat of the music and the heat of the dance moves will change her life forever. Expect some cracking dance moves, some electrifying music, and a whole lot of PVC. Jess Foley is starring as Ali in this production. It had its world premiere back in June in Manchester, and it is absolutely fantastic. There's music from the movie and also some original songs as well. It's running at the Opera House until the 2nd of November. Staying with musicals, Lizzie the Musical is back at Hope Mill Theatre. You might remember it had a successful run last year, and the crime rock musical is taken to the stage again. This has been a limited 4-week run. It's already opened and it runs until the 17th of November. It's exploring the life of Lizzie Borden. So, based on a true story, Lizzie was accused of murdering her father and stepmother with an axe in the late summer of 1892 in Massachusetts. The musical delves into her complex psyche and speculates on her motivations. You've got Lizzie, you've got Emma, her older sister, the maid Bridget, and neighbour Alice. So it's an all-female cast and supported by an all-female band. The music is fantastic. It's a perfect show for anyone who loves musicals and is a fan of true crime and horror. Elsewhere, if you fancy something a little bit different, then head to the Royal Exchange because Daniel Kitson is there with Pith. Now, this is running until the 26th of October, and it's a new storytelling experiment because comedian Daniel Kitson is coming back to the Royal Exchange for the first time since 2017. And this brand new show is about having ideas, telling stories, and starting again and again. And they have just announced as well that they have released £8 tickets for the banquet. Definitely worth checking out. And as I say, this runs until the 26th of October. Now, over at Bolton Octagon, well, we have got stones in his pockets. If you scroll back onto Isle of Manchester Facebook page, you will see my interview with two of the stars of this one. It is set in rural Ireland, a small village turned upside down by the arrival of a Hollywood studio to film the latest historical blockbuster. It's told through the eyes of local lads Charlie Conlon and Jake Quinn, who were employed as extras, but it soon becomes clear that Tinseltown's romanticised dream of Ireland is a long way from reality. This is a hilarious, thought-provoking and darkly funny comedy. It runs from tomorrow night, the 22nd of October, all the way through to Saturday, the 2nd of November. Well, over at home, Khalid Abdallah is taken to the stage in a playful solo show inspired by his involvement in the Egyptian revolution of 2011 and his experience of the counter revolution that followed. He's an actor and an activist, and he takes us on a surprising journey into his own history set against a cartography of seismic world events. This is called Nowhere. It opens tomorrow night, the 22nd of October, and it runs until Saturday, the 26th of October. But if you fancy a little bit of dance, you can't get better than a Rambert dance. Now, Peaky Blinders, the redemption of Thomas Shelby, is coming to town. Yes, it is going to be at the Lowry stage. And let's take a look at what we can expect.
Take a little walk to the edge of town and go across the track where the viaduct looms like a bird of doom as it ships and cracks, where secrets lie in the border fires and the humming wires. Yeah, man, you know you're never coming back. Across the square, across the bridge, past the mills, past the stacks. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand. His shadow is cast wherever he stands. Stacks of green paper in his red right hand.
Great for all you Peaky fans, and if you want to head down to the Lowry and see it, it's on from the 22nd of October to the 26th of October. And if any of those productions whet your appetite, you can find out more on our website, isleofmanchester.com/theatre. We've got information there, we've got reviews, and you can book those all important tickets. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's Spotlight on Stage. I'll be back with more theatre action next week. I'm here every Monday on Spotlight on Stage, so give us a follow on the Facebook page if you haven't already, and spread the word. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.